Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Kathy Bollinger, and I'm the Managing Director of Embracing Aging with York County Community Foundation. We believe and want to see a York County that is respectful and inclusive of all ages. And in embracing aging, we find that too often people project shame in growing older, and that's just not okay. So we're hosting a series of online sessions with people who are going to share their aging experiences with us, give us their insights, their tips, their ideas, their concerns, their challenges. The point of all of this is that we hope that it will inspire all of us to, number one, think more positively about our own aging. Number two, to think more positively about older adults as a group. And number three, to take action to assure that York County is not only a great place to grow up, but a great place to grow older. You can learn more about our work at www.embracingaging.org. And if you're on Facebook, you can follow us at YCCF Embracing Aging. And both of those are in the chat box. During our time together this morning, we're going to take the first 20 minutes where I'm going to ask our guest a few questions, and they're going to share their perspectives with us. And then we'll open it up to all of you to share your thoughts, ideas, and also to ask our guest questions today. And I am so excited to introduce who I'm interviewing this morning, and that is Edna Sterner. Now, I didn't have the opportunity to meet Donald and Edna in person, but when I heard about everything that they do in the community, I knew I wanted to connect with them because I thought that they would be a great duo for this series. And after speaking with them on the phone a couple weeks ago, I knew that this session today was just going to be full of lots of inspiring tips. The name of the session is The Gift of Age, and Donald and Edna are using their time and their gifts and their talents to give back to the community. And I call them volunteers extraordinaire because that's truly what they are. So welcome, Donald and Edna. I'm so glad you're joining me this morning.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. As I said, the title of the session is The Gift of Age. And both of you do so much to give the gift of your time and talents back to the community. So just to kind of let everyone on our call today know the scope and the breadth of the variety of the things that you do, will you share with us some of the ways that you volunteer?
Yeah. Well, I make laundry bags and repair laundry bags for the nursing home. I make backpacks for the school kids. We made 80 plus some this year for church. They're filled with school supplies for children all over the world, wherever they're needed most. I volunteer at Homewood at their store. They have a store there, and I work there. I purchase and prepare food for funeral luncheons. I cook meals for Provide a Lunch, and we do Meals on Wheels, and that's all before COVID. We haven't been doing that lately. I had to resign that part because I was not able to cook the meals in the building.
Okay. Wow, you're keeping busy. How about you, Donald? What are some of the ways you're volunteering?
Well, I work we got the funds with help of my daughter, Deborah, from Trivent. We get like $750 from them, and then our church members gave a good bit more. And besides the 80-some school kits that we filled, we did 63 health kits this year and 33 blankets that we sent to Lutheran World Action at New Windsor, Maryland, and that will be sent wherever they're needed all over the world. We also just a few weeks ago went up to Camp Nawakwa at Arntsville and sponsored a new path there, and we cleared brush and we built some bridges over the wet spots and made some benches to sit on along the way. I also helped when we delivered Meals on Wheels, and I haven't this year too much because of COVID, but I played my horn at nursing homes with my sisters for sing-alongs. my sister Linda was home here for a year. And she started playing at Homewood, and I got to play with her occasionally, but mostly I play with my sister Marlene, who's on here anyway. And we play at Edna Sterner, Homewood. We played at other areas. We play in church occasionally, and there's other ways to keep busy, but that's all for now.
Okay, well, Donald, I want to ask you more about your music in just a moment, but one of the things that struck me as you were sharing all the different ways that you volunteer is just the many different people you get to meet by having such a variety of ways that you give back to the community, and also the age diversity. It's my understanding, am I correct, that when you were building the park benches, you were working with a bunch of people of all different ages, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's so much value in having conversations with people of all ages, and we find that when you bring together people from the different generations for quality discussions, it's one of the best ways that we can debunk stereotypes and myths about growing older with our younger generations, and it's just one of the ways that we can learn from each other and improve attitudes all around. So Donald, let me ask you a little bit more about music. So first of all, you say you play the horn. What horn do you play? Is it?
Oh, I play the trombone, but I also can play the bass horn, the baritone, and I have played the alto horn occasionally in my past.
Wow. And did you start that when you were in school and then
as far as I can remember, I know I was born in 33 in the Second World War. I think about the middle of the war, 43, maybe I was about 10 years old. I started playing trombone, and I went around to different bands and played with them all my life.
Wow. Is there a certain type of music that you enjoy playing more than others? Like, do you enjoy marches or jazz?
Well, I enjoy marches. I enjoy playing Christian hymns, and like we do a lot of that in church or in nursing homes, and other songs for sing-alongs. Play at churches. And, the last 15 years we've been retired. We worked in nursing homes with Marlene when went around to the different ones, and then I started a little band at Homewood. There were some people moved in here that were pretty good players, and we ended up with about 5 or 6 from Homewood, and then I brought a few people in from outside that we had about 10 to 12 people in the band. And this gives people opportunities to perform and allows the audiences in the nursing homes to enjoy the people that they see perform.
Oh, that is wonderful. You know, I was a French horn player in high school. I haven't played for years, so I don't have that anymore. But I know I always did enjoy the gift of you know, playing music and the satisfaction of you know, lifting other people's spirits with the different songs that we played. So I'm sure the band can't be maybe playing right now because of COVID, but do you keep in contact with each other? And is everyone, you know, looking forward to the day they can go back out and play?
Yeah, I called them a couple of times on the phone, and I wanted to get the people from Homewood here, the 5 or 6 we have here. We could do, I offered to do some concerts, but the head of the Homewood thought that she wasn't taking a chance on having us come together, and we couldn't stay apart far enough. So, but if it wouldn't have been for COVID this year, we would have had 2 concerts in the spring, 2 concerts in the fall, and 2 concerts at Christmas.
Wow, you keep busy. You'll have to let us all know how we can learn about those concerts. So once they come back, we might all be able to enjoy them alongside you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Edna, I want to turn to you for my next question, because when we were talking on the phone, you mentioned to me that your motto is be happy, be positive, and keep busy. So can you share a few stories or ways that you adopted this outlook and how it's impacted the quality of your life as you age?
Well, I enjoy gardening and working outside. I like to cook and can and freeze vegetables. And
She does
I
cook
like
a lot.
I like to do puzzles and card games and electronic games, and I enjoy activities with Donald as well. We walk together and like doing sort of different things like that. Then we do separate activities too. Donald likes to swim and go to choir practice. And while he's doing that, I can do other activities like playing dominoes or pinochle or 500 or something like that in the community center.
Wow. You certainly keep active. That's for sure. So you said about canning. What's your favorite thing to can?
Oh, probably tomatoes are very easy. I like to can all kinds of things. Tomato soup, the family really appreciates that. It's better than what you can buy, so that's a big thing for the family.
Wow, that's very cool. My father's father, my pappy, he always made a lot of tomato sauce, and I would remember having memories of watching him do that and can that. And when I first got married, my husband also likes to garden, and he too likes to plant tomatoes, and we would do a lot of that. But I got to tell you, we've taken the easy route of now just making tomato sauce and freezing it versus canning. So I appreciate all the time that goes into what it is that you do. Sticking with your motto for a moment, be happy, be positive, and keep busy. You know, we know, of course, that as we age and things change, and there's times where, you know, we might be having some difficult moments. Do you have any advice that you can share, Edna, as to how you keep living this motto, even when maybe there's a day that things just aren't feeling quite right?
Well, per book says that she learned after the most she learned was after she was 70. And then she said, if you aren't dead, you're not alone. So
you're not done.
You're not done. If you're not dead, you're not done.
Not dead, you're not done. And who said this again? I missed
Pearl Buck.
I still
Pearl
miss
Buck, the
okay.
author.
Wow, well, that's excellent advice, right?
Right.
Always trying
to. And then my father, Wilson Miller, was one that was always active. He had tools in his trunk, and he was always going somewhere and helping someone repair something or do something for someone else. I know one time he was his neighbor's kids damaged all the mailboxes on his street. And he got up and took a hammer and a block of wood and opened up all the mailboxes again that they could be used so that the people could use their mailboxes. That's the kind of thing he's always done for everybody else.
Wow.
He was always there and keeping busy.
Yeah, so great examples too to learn from as you were growing older, you know, people seeing other ways that people were keeping busy. So to both of you, I'm curious, when you were younger, what messages did you hear about growing older? And was there anyone specifically who inspired your aging?
Well, one of the ones I thought about was my uncle Ed Gobrecht. He was one of 12 children. I was brother to my sister, my mother, and also to Glenn's grandpa. He taught me to play the trombone, but I traveled with him when I was young, different bands. He was very active. He worked at the Hanover Shoe 40-hour a week. He'd come home from there. His wife better have dinner on the table, because when he walked in the house, he sat down and ate. And 15 minutes later, he was in teaching students. And then about Monday nights, he'd go up to the KFE band. Tuesday nights, he'd go down to Hoswam. Wednesday nights to Westminster, the Mayor's Band, and he'd take me along to some of these as I was a teenager. And I remember playing in the bands got together at the end of the Second World War and did a lot of parading and parades, and I was in a lot of those with different bands. But going back to Ed, we would travel in the car, like to Westminster or other places for band jobs. He taught me how to play the bass horn and baritone by telling me that I had to order one first valve for my first open trombone, second, which valve to use, and that's how I learned to play them. So we kept active and enjoyed music. He aged, and I kept active and enjoyed music as I aged.
Great example. How about you, Edna?
Well, I just said mostly my father was my biggest person to take care of that. Some people from our church, there was an older lady, now I won't even be able to say it, Bechtel lady that was very good model for me. I felt that she was like my mother. Mm-hmm. And I also felt like Aunt Ada was a big inspiration to me, because she was always there and always ready, and she was patient with everybody and showed me a lot of things. When we first were married, we lived with them, lived near them. So,
well, thank you so much for sharing, and really appreciate hearing everything that you're doing and how it has inspired you. I want to now open it up to all of our guests joining us today, and you can either ask a question directly or make a comment, maybe share ways that you like to volunteer or an idea that you have. And if you don't want to speak directly, you can go ahead and type it in the chat box as well. So hi, Pat.
Hi there. I just wanted to say that Donald and Edna are an inspiration to me, because watching them and what they do is amazing to me. They just never stop. You've got to make an appointment to see them. But as I understand it, when they were building the trail, you know, Donald wasn't sitting back watching the young ones. He was out toting wood and everything else, and everybody else was saying, "You let Donald do that?" And he said, "Yeah, try keeping him down." And then Edna, one time when she had her knee operated on, we were going into dinner one night, like about 3 weeks later, and I'm following her, and I forgot to ask her how she was doing, because she was just walking right along, because she had suffered through the rehab as hard as she could to get back. So they've just always been an inspiration to me and the family.
Oh, thank you, Pat, for sharing. That's wonderful. Other thoughts or ideas? Oh, we have a question. As life goes on, and this is from Joel, as life goes on and change happens like technology, what has been the toughest change for you to adapt to in your life?
Yes, me that.
Oh, whoever, right?
Well, we don't do well with electronics. Our daughter Deb comes every week and does stuff for us on the computer. My phone, I can make a call out or answer it, but I don't do anything else. I miss all the good stuff with it. I don't watch much TV because I always have trouble finding anything that I want to find on there. So we haven't adjusted well.
Well, it's wonderful that Deborah's there to help, right?
Yes.
And that you're open to doing and trying. And, you know, just like today, many of us have learned all about Zoom based on COVID, right?
Right. Both our daughters do well. We and daughter Janice, I think she's at work probably, but she also is very helpful to us. But Deborah's been really good.
Can I say something?
Sure, please, Linda.
Yeah, I'm Linda, Donald's sister. We live in Connecticut, and now this happened in their younger days when they were both very, very busy with jobs and their own family. We had a set of twins, and 14 months later had another baby. And so Donald and Edna took the twins for 3 weeks while I was adjusting to the new baby, and kept them along with back then they were doing their volunteer work. And then every time we would come down, like at Thanksgiving and Christmas, I had a Thanksgiving birthday, and Edna and Donald got left. I mean, they had to have the birthday party for me every time.
Oh my goodness.
So, which they did, and all kinds of people would come. And so they were never, I mean, they always did that kind of thing, and they're still doing it. So
such giving hearts for sure.
Yes.
I have a question, because I don't know the answer. How did Donald and Edna actually meet?
Oh, that's a great question.
We met,
I never did it. One night I went to a skating party that the church had, and I never skated before, but all the girls were helping me skate. And Edna was one of them that helped me skate. So later on, I thought, I better check this out. And my mother sort of hindered me a little bit, because she wanted me to get down there and latch onto that young lady. And that almost stopped me, but then I still went anyway.
I think some of it was through Marlene too, because I was friends with Marlene first.
Yeah.
With Christian and Deborah.
Her father also delivered feed to our store, so I knew the family.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Wow.
Oh, I never knew that.
So is there anyone else that has a question for Donald and Edna, or something that you want to share that might be something you're thinking about in terms of your aging, or something you'd like to see in place that maybe isn't in place yet? Or
well, this year with being like, she usually played cards 3 afternoons a week, which she wasn't doing, and I'm missing the band practices, the choir practices, and all those things. But we've been still not catching after. We're trying to declutter. She saved all kinds of newspaper ads, and we saved all her funeral and wedding announcements. So we spend 2 or 3 months going through boxes and boxes, rereading all that kind of stuff, and then disposing of it so our kids didn't have to. But we still have a lot to do yet. But that's how we spend a lot of time.
I think we can tell people, though, that if they're interested in doing things and want to stay happy, you have to be busy. And there's so many ways opportunities to do that. But you just ask at any nursing home, they always need volunteers. Any church needs volunteers. There's so many places that you can do things. Like the Council of Churches, they have a million jobs for people to do. So I think it's so many things to do. And every time you're doing things for others, you're happy.
It's great advice. Carolyn, did you have something that you wanted to share?
This has been beautiful. And Edna is so right. When you're helping others, you're helping yourself even more. So I've enjoyed getting to know Deb's parents in this beautiful way.
Yes, they're very inspirational for sure.
I can make a comment here on my cousin Glenn, who's listening, that as far as that St. Bartholomew's Church, there's a lot of action out there that's taken place because of him. And of course, my sister's very active too, but they're keeping busy. And I will say this about Pastor David Jeremiah. I listened to him the other night, and he quoted Colossians 4:17. See to it that you complete the work you have received in the Lord. Pastor David Jeremiah adds, stay focused until you're finished.
Oh.
The Bible only has one place in the whole Bible that says anything about retirement, and that's found in Numbers 8:24-26.
Oh, thank you for sharing that and for inspiring us to keep active. And we know that one of the best ways to have quality of life as we age is to continue to have purpose. And you are certainly having purpose, giving purpose, touching people's lives in such meaningful ways. And as you said, touching your own, because when you give to others, you have a blessing coming back to you. So thank you so much. You know, over 110 years ago, a woman named Anna Gardner gifted her estate to be used to care for older single women living in York County. And today, that legacy, that gift is what is funding York County Community Foundation's Embracing Aging initiative. And I am so honored. In February, it'll be 7 years that I've been this initiative to work to help make York County a more better place for everyone of all ages. And again, we need help. We want people to speak up about what their needs are in the community. Let us know what we can do in York County to help improve how everyone experiences aging. So I hope that you'll visit our website at www.embracingaging.org to learn more about it. Donald and Edna, this has been such a pleasure. Our time went by so quickly. I can't believe that, you know, those 30 minutes fly. But again, thank you for sharing. And to all of you on the call, we know that your time is valuable. We know that you have many tears or pulls on your time in terms of a lot of people saying, oh, come to this meeting or do this or whatever. And the fact that you chose to be here today to listen to Donald and Edna and support them and to learn alongside all of us, it's just very much appreciated. So thank you. And if no one else has any closing comments, we'll wrap up. But
can I say one more thing?
One more thing, sure. Go ahead, Donald.
One thing I fail at this year that goes through my mind, but I don't get around to doing it, is making phone calls, especially to those people that are suffering from sickness or people that live by themselves that I know that'll be lonely. But if you can't do anything else, even if you're bedfast, you can make phone calls to people and try to cheer them up.
That is such a great point. You're exactly right, Donald. And Glenn?
Just one last comment. As being a younger to Donald and all of my cousins and relatives, what you see is what you learn to do. Mm. And by seeing what all these older cousins and relatives were doing, is like, well, you're just supposed to do that too. Now, we're not quite as engaged as what Donald and Edna is, but we're pretty close.
Well, you helped a lot with the...
It's just, we all have different talents that are used in different ways, but you learn to use what God blessed you with, and that's what you go with.
Absolutely.
Well, this has truly been a gift to all of us today. And I hope that we take what we've learned and use it to inspire us to give of our time and our talents to others in the community. And again, thank you, everybody. It was a pleasure meeting those of you who I haven't met before and seeing some familiar faces. And again, thank you for your time. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.